Oh, hi everybody. Thanks for joining us today to listen to our live streaming at Socrates Bike. Basically, we're really excited today to share with you a very successful story, case study about traffic and growing leads, growing sales, and in general, making a massive impact to your business. And we will also be sharing with you how you could apply similar principles to your business that will help you grow leads and therefore grow sales. So let's start. Let's start the slide. So you'll be able to follow us wherever you are, and if you do have any questions, you can ask as well. And if you're listening as a recording, you can always send us an email at info@socratesbike.com. Okay, so today's topic is, as I've said, traffic and conversion. Now, why do we actually want to be bothered with traffic and converting traffic into sale? Well, obviously, there is money in it. So you can get tons of new clients. You can actually buy potential clients a lot cheaper. You can acquire new client leads a lot cheaper. And you can do it really fast as well. We will be sharing with you some of the results that we have managed to achieve for our clients over and over within matter of weeks. You can also obviously ensure greater return on the advertising investment. Basically, you want to know exactly how much money you're getting in return of your advertising budget. Obviously, you can outsmart the competition, whatever niche you're working in, whether it's selling services or selling products, whether you're a dentist or a family solicitor, or whatever niche you're in, you can learn tools that will help you to remain on top of the competition. And if you choose to, you could be the smartest and possibly the richest business in your city or community or whatever your ambitions are. Obviously, you can also create a better life work balance. If you work smarter, you can earn more and more power to you. So first of all, who is this discovery live stream for? So basically, it's for any entrepreneurs, whether you are a single entrepreneur working from home or for a small office, whether you have a business and employ your staff, and that you specifically would like to find out more about traffic, how to increase traffic and how to convert traffic into sales. This is also for anybody who is a marketing manager or even a consultant, or if you are simply considering to work with us, you could discover a little bit more how we work, and you could get in touch with us as well. The outcome of this training is to discover more traffic and conversion systems that we use that generate a lot of qualified leads, and you could also the outcome is that hopefully we will give you information that will help you to sell more of your products and services, and you could apply those techniques that generated literally millions in revenues for our customers to your business. Okay, so let's get started. So primarily, what's your traffic and conversion mission? The mission really is to, whatever you do, whatever you're selling, to produce maximum money and convert at a higher rate, to grow consistently your customer base and your lead generation system, and perform with minimum work and in the shortest time possible. So let's get started with our case study. What we actually thought was we will give you the through the case studies, we will give you different tips and how you can apply to your business. So in this particular case, we limited ourselves to 5 easy steps that anybody can actually apply and see a big difference. So step number 1, we will be talking about creating a plan. Probably the most important part of any campaign. We will be talking about the websites, what actually, why the website is actually not the only most important part of the entire system. We'll be talking about organic SEO, but probably not as you know it. We'll be talking about various paid traffics and, getting really smart with whatever the budget you have available. And we will be talking about different ways of testing and measuring and why it's one of the most important step in your traffic and conversion systems. Okay, so step number 1, creating a backward plan. So basically, anytime a client contacts us, one of the first thing we do is to find out what is the ultimate objective. So you might want to think, what is your ultimate goal? What is it that you are trying to create through your new campaigns? And then once you have the number, whatever the number is, for example, you may want to double your sales, you may want to increase your sale by 10%, that can be enough for your business. And you may just simply want to improve the conversion rate. Once you have the number, then we try and create we kind of reverse engineer and create a backward plan. So for example, like in this particular case, the objective was to increase targeted leads by 50% within 90 days. And we created a target to increase targeted leads by 100%, so to double within 6 to 12 months. Now, what you also have to remember is that, and this may apply to your business, the particular client that we are doing the case study, they're from the service industry, so they are selling the services, not the products, but this is the same if you are selling your products. They actually never done any marketing before, so they kind of relied on, kind of random lead generation. So in the beginning, they used to generate something like only 5 leads a month. So and they thought that for that particular service, that was kind of okay. So they didn't really give any sort of marketing. But this time round, so when they started actually to work with us, so we decided to create this strong marketing campaigns that would make a real financial difference. So if you are also a small business who thinks that, I don't really have a marketing department, or I don't really have money to invest in marketing, as you will discover, that's probably one of the most important things that you can do in your business to actually get serious about investing in marketing, whether it's online or offline. We also had a plan to increase conversions every 3 months by about 15%. And the ultimate goal for us was to grow actual conversion by 50%. So you may want to make notes and decide for yourself, what is it that you would like to achieve? What's your ultimate goal? But obviously, you also want to be realistic. Now, a lot of times, there is a lot of hype that exists that, you can almost, become a multi-millionaire with a click of a button. Well, you want to be obviously realistic and have a realistic time scale. And don't assume that you can just make a few changes and next day you'll get some sort of magic results that you can sustain. So just be also realistic, with your time frame. Usually, we always say that you do need about between 3 and 6 months time to see sustainable results. So we're not talking about quick kind of one-off hits. We're talking about sustainable results where you can, have a predictable outcome every time your campaign is running. So the next step that we actually did for the client was we actually had to review the whole entire website system. Now, the website is obviously a lot of businesses, most businesses do have websites. There is nothing new in that. But what we want to look at is that what's the ultimate outcome and purpose of having a website. Of course, it represents part of your branding, and it gives information, and it does a lot of things. But ultimately, the website is and should be active lead generation system. So how the website is designed, what is it that, for example, if your ultimate goal is to generate targeted leads, does your website support? Do you have the system in place? One of the first things that we actually did was we had to redesign the entire website because that was important for the clients. There are a few tips that we can give you. For example, the landing page is one of the most important pages. When the visitors land on your website, what is it that they see? Do you have the system to capture them? Do you give them enough incentive to make an inquiry, send you an email, or fill out the form, or even simply pick up a phone and call? For example, in our client's case, people making inquiries through email was important, but as we started to work, we realized that it was a lot more easier for the company and for the staff to convert into sale if we encouraged people to make a phone call rather than send an email. So you want to have a think about what is it your ultimate goal, and then design it that way. Now, talking about the website, so you may want to review your website. So one of the things that is also very important is the advertising copy on the website. If you are to think of your online presence as active lead generation, you want to spend time or get professional help to come up with a copy that encourages people to take next steps. For example, if you want to sell more, check the copy that it actually encourages people to make payment or buy or fill out the form or whatever it is. We also had a look at the fast response conversion systems. Now, what you have to remember is that there is one thing about generating leads. You could generate a lot of leads, but the conversion rate could be very low. And sometimes it's okay because, for example, if you're selling really high-end services or products, you may only need one person to convert every month or even every year. So you need to know what works best for your business. But if you are in a business where increasing conversion by 5 or even 10% can make a huge, massive difference to your bottom line. So you want to think of the fast response conversion system. So what happens when people make an inquiry, when you generate that initial lead? Do you actually have a system that will help convert those leads really fast? We live in this really fast environment, fast society. We want everything to happen instantly. So if you don't have that system worked out where people are making commitments to do business with you right there and then, and make it extremely easy and clear for them, for your prospective clients, chances are you could be losing a lot of qualified leads and just simply not converting. So your website has to really address those issues. Now, just to recap on the website, so you want to go back and have a look at your own website and review if you actually have the website that is active lead generation system. You have the right copy that encourages people to make an inquiry or sale or pick up a phone, and make sure that you have fast response conversion systems we talked about. We will talk about mini websites as well later on. So it's something that is part of can be part of the lead generation system, but we will discuss that shortly during the call. So I'm not going to spend time right now on that. Now, and then step 3. So we have organic SEO, obviously, search engine optimization, and if you listen, probably there is so much information about, do this and, generate keywords, and there are companies that claim they can increase, the traffic without spending any money, etc. Now, they all work, but again, you want to go back and remind yourself what's the ultimate goal for your campaign. What is it that you're trying to achieve? Now, there are a lot of things that work when it comes to organic SEO, and there are a lot of things that probably doesn't work for your business. For example, when we worked on this client's campaign, we had to test numerous ways of driving traffic organically. Now, we realized that there were tools that worked really well. So we, for example, things like content marketing that was working brilliantly well, and of course keywords, etc. That was all important part of organic SEO. But we also realized that we were spending quite a lot of time as well, which obviously time is money, on say things like social media. And while but we also realized that the result that we were generating, say for example through social media, had very, very little impact, if any, to the company's bottom line. So why am I saying that? Now, everything is important, but you want to know where the money is coming from. So, and you want to be wise. If it is yourself that's working on your campaigns, you want to you want to know where you're best spending your time at. If you have staff that is dealing with your marketing, it's important that they spend time on things that actually makes you money, not just waste your money. So allocating resources is as important as generating, say, new content and generating, researching keywords and, trying to optimize. Now, is organic traffic enough for active lead generation? Well, once upon a time, probably having a strong presence in Google was pretty much enough to generate a really healthy flow of the leads. But more and more, it's getting a lot more challenging. So if you know how to invest money in your online marketing, it's certainly just as important to have budget allocated for the paid advertising and paid traffic. Now, one of the first things that you probably want to be aware is with the paid traffic, especially with Google. So you want to check the advertising policy. Now, depending on the niche, some businesses are having kind of hard time to advertise. For example, we had We had a couple of businesses that we just really struggled to pass the advertising policy. So for example, if you are in the financial, or maybe lawyers have sometimes challenging times to pass through the advertising policies. A lot of platforms, and not just Google, will not allow you to advertise certain content or even the websites. So we actually had to rebuild a couple of websites just to comply with the policy. So before you even, for example, start building a website or maybe making changes and campaigns, be clear you check the policy. It will save you time later on. So when it comes to the paid traffic, you want to know for your business what works and what doesn't work. One of the first things is obviously, so I've got here, one of the first things that people often do is PPC campaigns, and probably Google is one of the most preferred ways to advertise the business. But while that is still true, there are a lot of other ways where you can advertise that doesn't particularly involve Google, and by doing that you can achieve two things. One, you obviously can leverage your content and your website on a lot more. You can throw a wider net and leverage your brand online, and you can also decrease your advertising budget. And if you're advertising on various different specific websites, you can be extremely, you can find the websites that don't cost a lot of money to advertise every month, but they're very niche specific and very targeted. For example, one of the places you can check out is Buy Sell Ads. It's buysellads.com. And you can find a lot of blogs that are open to businesses can advertise from as little as $50 a month or $50 a week, or $100 or whatever it is. For example, if you are in a business that sells products, I don't know, say for example hair products, you can find websites that are extremely targeted, that already are attracting the right buyers, right readers, and you can place your online banner ads on those websites. Now obviously you would need to create your own banners, and but that's one of the things to do. So do a research and make sure you know where your ideal customers are actually hanging out. Now, another option, obviously, you have Google advertising, and one of the things that we did, for example, one of the things that businesses probably do is, especially if something you're doing yourself, just running maybe a couple of ads, or maybe a handful of ads. But you have to remember is that you want to test and try a lot of different combinations. For example, for this particular client, we actually started to run about as many as 71 different ads. So we were testing, different headlines, different offers, different landing pages. For example, after the initial interaction with our advertising, where people landed. So what was the landing pages? Like, for example, I mentioned mini websites. So we actually created several landing pages just to test which one was performing better. Now, you can also create different type of ads. You can create just simple text ads, just small advertising copy, or you can create image ads for more visual impact. You can also place your ads on specific websites that you specify. For example, if you're in a business, again, going back to our example of hair products, you may choose to advertise on specific websites that already attract buyers who are interested in hair and beauty, buyers that hang out on particular online platforms. You can also, create different combinations of, test different images and different headlines on the copy. So make sure this is all really well planned. Now, talking about copy, it's definitely worth investing in time and, simply if you can't hire a copywriter, invest time to find out how to format ads, what are the words that sell. For example, there are some magic response words that will always work. Free is one of them, discount or special offer, whatever is right and applicable to your particular niche. Now, so once you create different campaigns and different ads, so you also then want to know what is it that actually how each of them is performing. And our rule of thumb is, for example, if we are not getting any sort of response within, say, 48 hours, maximum of 2-3 days, we know that something is actually not working right. So you may want to change. Your offer, or you simply may want to change the landing page, or simply tweak 1 or 2 words, and then try advertising your offer again and see what difference that will make. Now, you will also notice that some advertising is performing a lot stronger and a lot better than others. So obviously what you want to do is you want to increase exposure and maybe allocate a lot more budget to advertising that actually works. But it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to stop advertising other ads. Now, for example, a lot of image advertising is important if you want to increase your brand exposure online. So, for example, if you have a logo and a strong message, so it's usually good to push your message online, as much as possible, because people are, continuously seeing the message, and that creates familiarity, which creates trust, and then, when people are ready to buy your products or buy your services, it's a lot easier to convert them into sale. That leads us to testing and measuring and tracking everything. Now, why is that important? It's important because more businesses make this mistake more and more, and which is running an advertising, spending a little bit of money, and then either stopping spending money because they assume the advertising doesn't actually work, or just simply running same ad and getting same results. Now, testing is important because obviously you want to know what impact your advertising is making. So, for example, if your goal is to increase, conversion by 10%, you can only know if you're on the right track if you're testing and measuring. You want to see, the different headlines, and you want to use actively. Obviously, Google Analytics is one of them to see if you're making the progress. Now, obvious rule of thumb is you want to use just simply once a month. For example, our client sends us a detailed report where we know exactly where the leads came from which city, how many leads came through the phone, how many leads came through the website, how many leads we managed to convert, which area was the highly most, best performing area in terms of conversion. Then we analyze why we didn't convert as many customers in a particular geographic area. So then we have to go back and review, is it the area that where people don't like to spend a lot of money? Is it relatively poor, or is it rich area, but something else is preventing clients from converting? You also want to so that's once a month. That's what we call a big report. Now, whenever we are running new advertising campaign, we will be getting regular updates every week or even every day from clients. Just to check if people are responding to our new advertising campaigns, how many leads are coming in every day, and what is it that we are converting. So that's all very important. Now, how do you track and measure? You should really be doing daily. So you need to be monitoring daily. You don't necessarily have to do the big analysis every single day, but it is important to check the progress every single day and see where you stand. Every week, you certainly want to add up the results. For example, if your target is to have 10 new leads every week or 50 new leads, you want to have a look at end of every week where you stand, and then you have your usual monthly appraisal. And now sometimes you have to remember that just because you're not getting immediately the results that you want, it doesn't mean you're not on the right track. So all it means is it does take time until you start to see kind of the outcome that you desire. So it's important, as long as there is a trend where the leads are going up, you're getting better quality traffic. You can have really not a lot of traffic organically going to your website, but the quality might be really high. So you want to kind of have a look at what works best for you. You then also want to have a look at the quarterly stats. Now, quarterly is probably one of the most important review that you can do, because end of every 3 months, you should have made some sort of progress. You should have either improved conversion, or you should have improved the quality of traffic or leads. If you're not making a progress, then something is definitely wrong. So you definitely need to review the entire system. And then you have your annual review. So we usually do that just before New Year, just before Christmas. And that's where we add up everything together and create a new plan for the rest of the year. So you want to continuously be adjusting your goals. You should never stop testing new platforms. For example, once a month, we spend time researching new advertising platforms. Where else can we advertise? How else can we advertise? For example, for a long time, we didn't particularly use PR advertising for a reason, because the client wasn't particularly ready for that. But for example, like last month, we started testing PR advertising, and that started to perform really well as well. So you want to continuously try and find new platforms, and never stop. Never be kind of content that what you are doing right now is enough, because the competition is also doing what you're doing, and they will also be working really hard to try to outsmart you. So you always want to kind of remain on top of your game. You want to always test new ads. Don't stop. Don't think, oh, those ads are working really fine, and I don't need to test anymore. But always test new ads. For example, You want to review the calendar, and you can adjust your advertising based on the season, different seasons. For example, you can create ads specifically about Christmas or Easter campaigns, or you can do just Mother's Day campaigns, or maybe it's something specific to your neighborhood or your community. So you always have to kind of give something new and test something new, and that variety, and leverage your message as much as possible and as far as possible. So what was the actual result that we achieved for our clients? This particular case was, we went from like 3 leads to 129 leads, and the number is actually growing. Each lead is worth 3,000 up to 3,000 to a client, and we've actually done that within weeks. We went from 5% conversion to 42% conversion, and that's growing as well. Now you have to remember is that initially the client didn't have any marketing department or any marketing budget, so never spent money on marketing. But what we actually came up with in the end is a complete marketing system that actually makes money. It's very you can replicate the system, and it generates literally millions. So hopefully that was some helpful tips for you. Have a look at go back and review your own business, your own marketing campaigns. First of all, how many things are you doing to advertise your business? Most businesses don't particularly want to spend time or money on marketing, or they do very little of it. So you want to ask yourself some questions. What is it that you do on a daily basis to try to advertise your business? Are you investing in online advertising or otherwise? We do offer, please get in touch with us. We do offer free initial assessment for traffic and conversion. We will review your website. We will review your goals and your ultimate goal. What is it that you have? And we can make suggestions and recommendations. It's always free initially, so there is nothing to lose. You can also, you don't necessarily need to hire a marketing director. We can provide that marketing department in a box system, and it only starts from $9.95 a month. But as you can see, the return on investment can be as high as as you want it to be. So get in touch, and this is what you can do and should do in the next 30 days. Number 1, review your existing marketing systems. Number 2, create powerful campaigns for products and services. Now, if you're running a business, you probably are really busy. So you simply, even if you know how to do everything, so it's probably quite difficult to find time to sit down and create campaigns after campaigns. So, get in touch with us or somebody like us, and, we will be happy to discuss this with you and help you achieve the goals that you would like to achieve in your business. Set up best organic SEO systems for you. Make sure you review your websites, whether you have 1 or 10. Research your marketplace, customer, different media platforms where you can advertise, and start testing and measuring results every week, every month, every quarter, and ultimately replicate success. So hopefully you had some new information that you can start applying to your business. Thanks for listening, and if you do have any questions, please visit our website, socratesbike.com, or send us an email, info@socratesbike.com. Thanks a lot. Bye.